The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence. The water.
Okay, so you're like essentially doomed to fail the first time.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick. Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about two completely different things.
Even
Except
so,
he gave
I
up
trust the traveler's
his
judgment.
visions because they could
The truth
potentially
must be out
create
there
real magic,
somewhere.
so it
Perhaps
could
a
mean
new
that
line
it
of
still
reasoning may open if
exists.
we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased, Cowell.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea.
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into
you.
water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Okay.
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, Let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
Okay, the liquid the guards found in Cowell's luggage. Who's the prime suspect? This dude.
The deceased's name is Cowell.
What item did the culprit use to control the timing of the dissolution?
Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism.
Use this to dissolve her.
The water from the primordial sea should already
Okay,
have
what
been
item did the
caught.
culprit use to hide the mechanism behind the crime?
Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box.
There we go. Okay, now that I understand that it's telling me specifically what goes in each box.
Ahem! It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase.
Can you give mommy her phone?
Inside the tunnel, with the
Can I
remaining
have my phone?
evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But
Thank you.
he encountered something unexpected.
He's
in the
actually pretty damn
tunnel,
smart.
and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Beep beep. Yeah, you want some milk?
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the
You
luggage
can't
of the other people
be
involved
free
in
right
this
now.
case. And we
No,
found
you're
an
fine.
identical
Why don't
sample
you
of the
put
water
some
from
of
the
your toys
primordial
away?
sea among Linny's personal effects.
What?
That can't be.
Oh, I see. Well,
Put some of your
how
toys away and then you'll have more
wonderfully
space to
creative
play.
To have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close.
Here's some food.
Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent.
Okay.
Having made modifications to the props beforehand. His accomplice Cowl then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea.
Yes.
But upon his return, in cruel
What?
avarice, Linny desired
Hi.
sole credit and prepared to do
Hi.
away with his partner in crime.
What? You're jumping up and down. What do you want?
Ultimately, he knocked Cowl out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the
Are you thirsty?
cold-blooded and ruthless organization. Am I right, Mr. Linny?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the road?
Oh no. Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move.
Whoops.
Why
You
did this
dropped
have
it.
to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now, and we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale. Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move...
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must
Yeah?
ask you not to shout and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linny, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Lenny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But, as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I
Okay.
understand.
And voila.
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence.
Wait,
I was
what?
hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and
So the water wouldn't have worked on her anyway.
I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so
Yeah.
I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there, and I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief. Liddy even mentioned that you were
dropped your
pretty
toy.
skilled.
Well,
Now it's gone.
and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was on to me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes.
What's
I slipped out
wrong?
after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put it in the
ball?
magic box.
Okay.
I may be a thief.
Gonna play with the
but I'm
ball?
not a killer.
1,
Well,
2,
that makes
3.
everything pretty
Bounce.
clear now, doesn't it?
There you go.
This time, we need to tell the entire
Oh,
story
right,
from
let's do
Lily
it.
Ann's perspective.
How would Halsey have reacted? There you go.
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lily Ann's attempt to
Yeah,
break out
nah.
when she was frightened.
No, mommy sucks at bouncing the ball, doesn't she? Yeah, let's try again. Oh, I found to carry it. Hang on. Whoop. There we go. Oh! The floor. Off the baby's head. And it's out. Wow. Yeah. It was pure dumb luck. I bounced the ball off the baby's head after bouncing it on the floor. Okay.
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during the struggle between Lily Ann and Cowell.
Oh. Yeah, you threw it the wrong way. Now I have to go get it. Yeah. Yeah, hang on. Hang on. Do you want me to bounce the ball? Ball? Can you say ball? You want the ball? There you go. Oh, you want your water? You want your milk? There. Okay.
Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left. So she changed clothes and hid, biding her time.
Boom.
Just what one might expect of an experienced thief.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! Having been selected out of the blue, Lillian panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard.
You don't need my keys. What do you want? Here, you can have milk. Like, fine, if that's the only thing you'll give me.
Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing
you had milk.
ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lillian back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top,
You're okay.
knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended.
We can play with the ball while I play. Pass me the ball. Good job. You have your own water.
She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the Opera House these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
What?
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Yeah, pass me the ball.
Bravo! Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What? Are you reading my mind?
Yeah, that's your
now?
water.
No, I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really,
Oh,
could
here,
you
you want
at
to
least
drink it
have
like a
left me
hamster?
with some dignity?
Hamster baby.
Look at that!
There you go.
She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box.
Yeah.
When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was
Here's your
lowered
water,
into
okay?
the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble,
You can
Cowell
drink
entered the tunnel
yourself.
and met Lillian.
Don't need
Thinking
me to
that the
hold it
waters
for
had not
you.
yet taken effect, he decided to proceed.
Whoops.
However, his
Box
opponent
the
was more
baby.
capable than he thought, and
Yeah.
he was overcome, knocked unconscious,
I'm
and
sorry.
placed into the magic box,
Here you go.
and
Have
thus
fun.
became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings.
You want the milk now?
From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that
You want
Linny,
my water?
the accused, is in fact innocent.
Here.
While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
What?
As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but
Yeah.
false evidence that you dare to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this
So they're
business
essentially
for a while
drug
now,
dealers.
and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about. The...
Is it gonna be the Archon?
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
So, we're just going back now? That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon! Please wait.
Winnie...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end, even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
The knave? one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past. Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me.
You want me to
and
throw the
claimed
ball?
that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
Oh my god.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first, too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
Good job.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal
That's
with...
fucking dark.
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law.
Jeez.
I managed to ferret
Can we
out
go
the
murder all
location
these
of the
people now?
mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
Yeah.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to
Okay.
any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father,
Yeah,
I
you want to
mean,
know?
the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the
Whoa,
Hearth.
whoa, 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 whoa.
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Sarita to first use the Gnosis' power once she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. Everyone at Hotel Bouffe d'été, including the knave, has their roots in Fontaine, and we will always defend our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So,
Sorry for the baby noises.
like
He's being really cute right now.
to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, Everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
Yeah.
It's all right. I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the house, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
Bye, Linny.
You like that? I just hooked his water bottle on his fence. And he's kind of losing his shit over that. Yeah, look. You like that? What? Okay, hang on. So, do I have one of them? Because I swear like it was supposed to give me one of them. I have so many characters in this, and I don't even know who all of them are. Bop, 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 bop. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just stick around in this at some point and try to, like, remember who all I have. Oh, I have this guy. Oh, I like this guy. I have to level him up.
Seems like I should have just stayed in bed today.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though.
Are you getting
Don't you think
sleepy?
so too?
We still got a little bit before nap time.
Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
I might even get this off now. There you go.
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now, right?
I'm still betting it's the Hydro Archon.
I see. Well,
Yeah?
I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all. Sorry. I
What?
might have been too presumptuous.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got milk in your hair.
Ah, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. That reminds me. Wait, shall we have a
I
farewell
don't know
meal?
if you guys can hear the
You know,
noises
to
he's
commemorate
making.
our time as partners?
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal?
It's milk.
Guess you really did treat us
Is that
as
good milk?
partners, huh?
Well,
Tasty?
I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navi is treating, count Paimon in!
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the Court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
Alright then,
What?
let's have our farewell meal!
That's your water, yeah. Okay. Oops. What? Okay. So yes, I'm gonna do this one. Bop, 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 bop. I got some of this stuff. What?
Ad Astra Abyss. Thank you for completing today's. Ad Astra Abyss.
Do I have any of this? I do not. Oh, that's like a shiny looking thing. What is this thing?
Ad Astra Abyssal.
Let's do... Oh, I did that one already. Okay. Sure.
Dissipate! Thank her next time?
Hey, kitty. Oh, it looks like Penguin. I miss Penguin. Where am I even going? opposite side. Okay. Yeah?
Huh? Isn't that Charlotte? Who's her friend and what are they chatting about?
Be pleased with the cherry on top, Charlotte! Journalist extraordinaire! Please tell me you're joking! I read that a gang of criminals tricked the Gardamex by disguising themselves as blubber beasts. It's true, isn't it? It has to be! I've invested all my savings into graph adversarial technology and even taken out a sizable bank loan. I'm begging you like the beggiest beggar in all of begdom.
I need you to calm down a little, Miss Lapine, Pauline. I admire your passion for your research, and I
That's
don't mean
the
to dash
name.
your hopes for those, big ticket orders. But I'm afraid I'm not joking. The Blubber Beast incident was a short story mailed to us by an anonymous amateur author, written in the style of a true story.
It sounds like they're just discussing a story, but why does this Miss Lapine Pauline seem so distressed?
Funnily enough, I actually remember being in a meeting where the editing team was debating the potential risk of misleading the public with this story. They even went to Maison Gardiennage for advice. But to our surprise, they fully supported us printing it. They figured that the false intel would be a great way to dupe potential criminals into wearing ridiculous costumes when breaking the law. In truth, Gardamex are extremely sophisticated in their capabilities. They can identify criminals just as reliably as the best human guards, so a crude disguise isn't gonna get you far. If anything, it'll just make you stand out all the more. Since we ran that story, the Maison Gardiennage has made a slew of arrests, including, one phantom blubber beast, a titanic red-crowned finch, and a specter man. So I knew this story had helped out law enforcement, but this is the first time I'm learning of an innocent citizen being deceived by it, and investing so much more for nothing.
Uh-oh. She really sounds like she's in pain. Paimon thinks we should just ask Charlotte what's going on. Hey, Charlotte!
Traveler, Paimon, it's you!
Pretty sure the
I was in
baby's
the
taking
area taking
everything
some
out of
photos
his
for a
toy
story
basket.
when I got to talking to Miss Lapine Pauline about her research. She read an article in the Steambird about a criminal who evaded Gardamex detection by disguising themselves as a blubber beast. Inspired by this story, she spent a lot of Mora researching counter-criminal image recognition technology. Her aim was to improve Fontaine's public security by developing a device that could enhance Gardamex target recognition capabilities. She was hoping I could write an article to spread
boy.
awareness about image recognition technology. She even paid me for the article and gave me one of her prototype devices before I could get a word in. But unfortunately, it was just a fictional story, and her efforts and aspirations were all in vain. I tried to let her down gently, but she's finding it all very hard to accept.
This is a new situation for us,
I mean,
too.
wouldn't that still be a valid potential technology, though?
Such a pity. It seems like the author was only trying to make the story interesting, and the Maison Gardiennage only had Fontaine's best interest in mind.
Wait, Miss Lapine Pauline, what are you doing?
I'm gonna pick a fight with a Gardamex, head to the Opera at Biclez, and get a one-way ticket to the Fortress of Meropide. That way, I won't have to repay my debts. It's the only way I can afford to keep on living.
Whoa, there's no need to go that far. I mean, come on, look at you. You wouldn't even dent the Gardamex armor. In all likelihood, they'd only hold you up at the Maison Gardiennage for a few days before letting you out, and then you'd still have to repay your
Oh,
debts.
he's eating
Actually,
the Cheerios.
instead of going into the technicalities of that,
The Cheerios?
how much did you actually invest? How bad can it really be?
270,000 Mora.
Okay, well, escaping to the Fortress of Meropide over a sum like that seems like a last resort. Surely there must be other options.
Not anymore. I used to be an equipment supplier to the Fontaine Research Institute before that blew to pieces. And now I'm just a small-time engineer. I scraped together some savings over the past few years.
Milk?
But I put
Want some milk?
every last mora into this project, and now I'm left with nothing. It's not just my savings that are gone. It's my whole future as a graph adversarial technology specialist and my dreams of becoming a billionaire one day.
Okay, so his noises are coming through on the mic.
My life is over.
Don't despair, Miss Lapine Pauline. I think I know a way for you to turn this around. This prototype you've given me, the camera lens for image recognition sample collection. It's really quite something. You said you designed it specifically for high-fidelity image capture and analysis, yes? The rapid focal length adjustment is a very useful function in its own right. It's sure to make many journalists' jobs much easier. In fact, I'd say it has the potential to revolutionize Fontaine's news media. So your research efforts thus far are by no means in vain. The technology you've
I was gonna say
developed
somebody would be able to make
applications
use of it.
that you've never even considered.
Really?
Absolutely. I've been working as a journalist for the Steambird for a long time now. No one understands the issues we journalists face on a day-to-day basis better than me. So keep calm, take heart, and start thinking about mass production. In the meantime, I'll show your invention to all my colleagues to drum up interest in your product.
I can't believe it. If this is true, then I can look into setting up a whole camera lens development pipeline. My big ticket orders and billionaire aspirations are still in the cards. Oh, maybe I should consider taking out another loan. That way, I can rapidly improve the lens production process, be the first to market, and prepare to battle for dominance in the camera industry.
Come on, stop daydreaming about your pipelines for a minute. Just take it
I was
one
gonna
step at
say,
a time and see how it goes.
maybe
Sense of
pay
putting all
back
your eggs in one
what you're
basket
worried
before
about
things are
first.
even off the ground.
And I can probably speak to some people I know and license my image recognition device to a workshop to raise some funds. I can't believe I didn't think of this sooner. There's no time to lose. I need to get to work. Early bird gets the worm.
Can you believe her? She just ran off. Paimon's pretty sure our advice went in one ear and out the other.
It's understandable. When inspiration and passion strike at the same time, it's all too easy to throw yourself headfirst into your work and forget about everyone around you. A lot of journalists are the same way when they're first starting out. But don't you worry. I'm gonna write an article on all this, and I'll be checking in on her regularly.
He's got these like mushroom rattle things, like they're
Her
mood
research
mushrooms,
has the potential
and he's
to
trying to
benefit
stack
the
them all in a
entire
cup.
journalistic
They don't all
community.
fit.
I'll give her plenty of
Yeah.
input to stop her from going down any rabbit holes, and make sure mass production of her lens can begin as soon as possible.
It's reassuring to know that
You
you'll
might
be
have to
looking
dump
out
it
for her,
out.
Charlotte.
Dump it upside down. Tip it over. Tip it over. Yeah, like this. Watch. See? Empty now. It like fit perfectly in the cup, so like it didn't fall out and he couldn't pull it out.
Actually,
I'd like
you know
smack
what?
it.
Why don't you two take this prototype lens? I'm sure you'll have plenty of chances to use it on your travels. It takes the right person to get the most out of the new technology. In your hands, it's sure to capture some amazing sights.
Thanks a lot, Charlotte. What a nice surprise. We were just curious about what you guys were talking about. Totally didn't expect to get a free gift out of it.
You're welcome. I got something out of this too. The beginnings of a very interesting news story. The boundaries between real news reports and news-like fiction must not be blurred, even when there's a compelling justification for doing so. Yes, that's how I'll phrase it to the editors when I give them my feedback. Let's hope we don't mislead any more well-meaning citizens in the future.
After activating the special analyst zoom lens, you can use your camera to use a special photo taking function. Okay, vroom, vroom, vroom. Gotta go around. Oh, wait, I can go through. Whoops. There we go. Oh, just about time for the baby's nap. I may take a short break. Yeah. Sleepy time? Yeah, you dropped the mushroom. Oh, did you put them in the cup again? Did you get it stuck? What? He's definitely an explorative little baby. Very explorative baby. Are you ready for sleepy time? Time is it? I'll give him like maybe another 10 minutes and then I'll take him up. We'll do this cutscene and then I'll take him up. I don't want to wait too long. Because that's when he ends up getting
I came
cranky.
here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Ooh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Yeah?
Oh,
Do you have a mushroom stuck in there? Do you want me to help?
In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh?
There you go.
Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food.
I'm gonna put it right back in.
Speaking of cases, do you know that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking.
I wonder if it's a coincidence that it's targeting young women and that Lynette
In such investigations, even the
and
smallest
Linny
step can seem
are
like
involved
a yawning chasm if the trail
when
of clues is cut off.
like are part of the story
To be
when
honest,
Lynette was
I don't have high hopes for any
almost
follow-up that the authorities might conduct.
trafficked.
It's not that I don't have faith in their ability. It's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough.
Did you get it stuck again?
Which is exactly why the
Oh, those are the
still
lids.
exist.
Those ones aren't stuck.
Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we
There you go.
exist. To seep into
Hats.
the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch
More
fails
hats.
them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Tough hats.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else.
He just balanced a cup on his head for like
What are your future
a
plans?
few seconds. Whoops.
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far...
Yeah, you're putting
was to
things
have
in
a
the cup.
chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Yeah.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Guess
Oh.
that's Spina di
Oh, you
Rosula's
really
boss
got.
for
Oh,
you.
there we go.
Chock
There we
full
go.
of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to
Why?
infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House.
I just got
only
it
to
out for
abandon
you.
her act at the play's climax
gonna put it
and
back
ask
in?
to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then, wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions. I can personally testify that
She's
this
some
one
pretty
works.
bad.
When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
She has some pretty bad ideas.
But that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep. All right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations.
What? You want some more
False
milk?
accusation she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense. Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink?
What?
Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Yeah.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia.
I wonder if it's going to be significant that it was salty.
So full. Paimon can barely float anymore.
You see yourself in the mirror? Where's the baby? Yeah?
That would be so normal. You know, like you.
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with.
Hey, Navia, what are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your requests the highest priority. In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
All right. Everyone. Okay. Those images are not 4K. It's so weird, too, because everything else is so crisp, and that's blurry. These ones aren't bad, though. Okay. Alright, guys. I'm gonna off for now. The baby wants a story, and I'm still kind of tired, too. Yeah. So I'm gonna head off. Thanks for hanging out. I will do this some more maybe next Saturday, unless people request something else. I will read you the dolphin story. You gotta give mommy a minute, though. Patience. Tomorrow I'll be off. Monday I should be back. I don't think I have anything on Monday. So we'll probably do some more Enchanted Arms on Monday. Till then, thank y'all for hanging. I don't think nobody's going right now, so I will just call it there, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye, everybody!